All right, everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Today, we're going to be looking at some really cool AI projects that are kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah, it's amazing how much is happening outside of, you know, the usual Silicon Valley stuff.
Totally. So we've got research papers, we've got news articles, even some internal notes from a few tech companies, all pointing to some seriously innovative AI stuff,
Definitely. We're going to see AI used in some really surprising ways.
for sure. So are you ready to discover some hidden AI gems?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Okay, let's start with the ocean. When I think about ocean exploration, I picture like big submarines and divers and all
It's
that.
like a classic image.
Right. But it turns out AI is playing a huge role these days. We're talking about autonomous underwater vehicles, or AUVs, like robotic explorers.
It's pretty incredible. These AUVs are using machine learning not just to navigate the ocean depths, but to collect data, map the seafloor. I mean, the precision is unbelievable.
Wow, that's amazing. So who's leading the charge here? Any companies doing really cool work with these AUVs?
Oh, yeah, definitely. One company that comes to mind is Ocean Infinity. They've been using these AI-powered AUVs to map massive areas of the ocean.
Really? What kinds of things are they finding?
New species, for one. They're also uncovering historical shipwrecks. It's really uncovering the secrets of the ocean.
That's so cool. And
Yeah.
it's not just exploration, right? I was reading that AI is also being used to protect marine ecosystems, like to fight illegal fishing and stuff.
That's right. AI is proving to be a really valuable tool in that fight. It analyzes data from satellites and acoustic sensors, so these algorithms can actually detect suspicious fishing activity.
Wow, so it's like real-time monitoring.
Exactly, and that allows authorities to respond really quickly. Illegal fishing costs the global economy billions of dollars every year, and it devastates fish populations.
So having AI on our side is huge. It's like a digital guardian for the oceans.
It really is.
Okay, shifting gears a bit here. Another area where AI is making a big difference is mental health. I know it's a sensitive topic, but the potential benefits are really huge.
Yeah, for sure. We're starting to see AI-driven platforms that are specifically designed to provide mental health support. And some of the approaches they're using are really innovative.
Oh, like what?
Well, there's Wobot, for example. It uses natural language processing, basically AI that can understand and interact with human language. And it offers conversational support for people dealing with anxiety or depression.
So it's like having a virtual companion who's always there to listen.
Exactly, someone to offer guidance. And these AI companions are getting really good at personalizing the experience. There's another platform called Wysa. It uses machine learning to tailor its responses to the user's specific needs and emotional state.
That's pretty impressive. But I imagine some people might be, hesitant to confide in a machine.
Yeah, I get that. It's really important to remember that these AI platforms are not meant to replace human therapists.
Right, of course.
They're meant to be like a complement to traditional mental health care, an additional layer of support, especially for people who might not have easy access to therapy or who maybe feel more comfortable opening up to a virtual companion.
Like a safety net, a way to reach out for help whenever you need it.
Exactly. And another thing that's really exciting is how AI can help us detect early warning signs of mental health issues.
Oh, really? How does that work?
Well, AI algorithms can analyze things like speech patterns, facial expressions, even biometric data, and they can pick up on subtle cues that we as humans might miss.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, this early detection capability has the potential to, revolutionize mental health care. Imagine being able to identify and address these challenges before they become full-blown crises.
That would be huge. It's amazing to see how AI is making a real difference in people's lives. Okay, ready for another topic? Let's talk about agriculture, how AI is transforming how we grow food.
Oh, yeah. This is another area where AI is really making waves. We're talking about precision agriculture, using technology to optimize crop yield and resource usage.
Okay, I've heard that term, but I'm not really sure what it entails.
Well, AI is playing a central role. One of the most visible examples is the use of AI-equipped drones.
Like farmers are using drones to survey their crops.
It's more than surveying. They're assessing plant health, identifying pest infestations, and even predicting harvest times.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's all about helping farmers make these data-driven decisions to maximize their efficiency and output.
That's pretty incredible.
And it's not just about increasing yields either, it's about making agriculture more sustainable. For example, there are AI-powered irrigation systems that analyze weather patterns and soil conditions to deliver water only where and when it's needed.
Oh, that's smart.
It's huge for water conservation.
Oh.
And then there's this incredible see and spray technology being developed by companies like Blue River Technology.
See and spray. I've never heard of that.
So picture this, right? An AI system on a tractor that can actually identify individual weeds and then target them with herbicides,
Whoa, seriously.
leaving the crops totally unharmed.
That's amazing. It's like a robotic gardener that knows the difference between a weed and a valuable plant.
It really is. It's a perfect example of how AI can reduce pesticide use while also ensuring that crops get exactly what they need.
It's a win-win. It's just incredible to see how AI is being used in these diverse and innovative ways, from the ocean depths to our mental well-being to agriculture. It's already having a huge impact on the world.
Yeah. And what's even more exciting is that AI is becoming increasingly accessible to, individuals and smaller businesses.
Oh, that's interesting. So we've seen how AI is impacting these massive industries, but what about the everyday person? Are there AI tools that can help, you and me?
Absolutely. We're seeing platforms that are actually automating the machine learning process itself.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's making it possible for people without a lot of technical expertise to build and use AI solutions.
That sounds honestly too good to be true.
It's pretty remarkable. There's a platform called Auto AI, for example, and it basically lets anyone build and deploy AI solutions without having to write a single line of code.
So instead of needing a team of programmers, I could potentially build an AI system myself.
Yeah, that's the idea. It guides you through the whole process, helping you choose the right data, the right algorithms. You can fine-tune your model to get the results you want.
So it's like having an AI expert right there with me. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah. And this kind of democratization of AI is opening up all sorts of new possibilities for individuals and small businesses, people who just couldn't afford to develop their own AI solutions before.
Right. That's huge. But what about people who work with really complex systems? Is there a way to use AI in those situations?
Definitely. For those working with really complex systems, there are platforms like AnyLogic that allow you to integrate AI into simulations.
Okay, I'm not familiar with any logic. What do you mean by integrating AI into simulations?
So imagine you're trying to model a complex system, right? Like a supply chain or an entire city. You can create these simulations in AnyLogic and then introduce AI agents. Think of them like intelligent virtual entities. And they can actually learn and adapt within the simulation environment.
So these AI agents can help us understand how different factors might impact a complex system.
Exactly. It helps you test different scenarios, optimize outcomes, make better decisions. It's a powerful tool for problem solving and strategic planning.
That's super interesting. Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting for me. What about the creative fields? I've heard all this talk about AI generating art and writing content, but is that just hype or is there something real there?
It's definitely more than hype. AI is already having a big impact on creative fields, and that impact is only going to grow in the coming years.
So AI can actually create art, write stories. I'm a little skeptical, I have to admit.
I get it, but the capabilities are pretty amazing. There's a platform called Midjourney, and it uses AI to create some really stunning visuals. It's opening up the world of art and design to people who may not have traditional artistic skills.
So I could use Midjourney to create art, even if I can't draw.
Exactly. It takes your prompts, your ideas, and turns them into these visually amazing images, often in styles that you couldn't achieve through traditional means.
That's wild. What about writing? Can AI actually write, good stories?
AI is getting really good at content creation. One example is Jasper AI, which helps writers with all sorts of things, from generating ideas to drafting and editing content.
So if I have writer's block, I could use Jasper AI to help me get started.
Exactly. You can give it a topic or a brief outline, and it can generate different writing styles, tones, even storylines.
Whoa. So it's like having an AI writing partner, helping me explore new creative possibilities.
Yeah, it's a really interesting tool. And it's not just for beginners, by the way. Experienced writers use these tools, too, to be more productive, to experiment with new styles, and to come up with new ideas.
That's so cool. So AI isn't just about crunching numbers and automating tasks. It's about tapping into human creativity, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the arts.
Totally. And it brings up some big questions, about the nature of creativity itself. What happens to art and writing when anyone can access these AI tools?
Yeah, that's a fascinating thing to think about. It's both really exciting and a little mind-boggling. But before we get too carried away with the possibilities, I think it's important to remember that AI is still a tool at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
and it's up to us to use it responsibly.
You're absolutely right. AI has this potential to do so much good in the world, but we need to be mindful of the potential risks too. Data privacy, algorithmic bias, the concentration of power. We need to think about all of these things.
So it's not just about celebrating the advancements, but about having critical conversations and setting guidelines for how we develop and use these technologies.
Exactly. AI is incredibly powerful, and it's our collective responsibility to make sure it's used for the benefit of all humankind.
Well said. It's clear that AI is already having a profound impact on our world in ways that we often don't even realize.
Yeah, what's really struck me is just the diversity of these applications.
Yeah.
We've gone from exploring the ocean to the complexities of the human mind, from revolutionizing agriculture to, empowering individuals with creative
Right.
tools.
And it feels like we're just getting started.
Exactly. Who knows what incredible AI-powered innovations are just around the corner?
So why should our listeners care about all of this? What does it mean for them?
I think the key takeaway is this. AI isn't just a distant tech concept or something that only happens in research labs. It's already a part of our lives, shaping our world in ways that, frankly, are pretty profound.
It's about recognizing how AI can impact our own lives, our careers, the world around us.
Exactly. It's about being informed, about being engaged citizens in a world where AI is playing an increasingly vital role, asking the right questions, considering the ethics, and ultimately shaping the future of AI in a way that benefits all of us.
I love that. I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today. And as we wrap up this first part of our deep dive, I just want to leave you with this. Don't underestimate the power of AI to change even the most unexpected aspects of our world. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and be open to the possibilities.
And remember, the future of AI isn't predetermined. It's being written right now.
Yeah.
And we all have a role to play in shaping it.
It's crazy to think about how AI is showing up in the most unexpected places now. I was reading about how AI is being used to make personalized scents and flavors.
Yeah, that's right. AI is definitely starting to tap into the sensory world. There are actually companies working on AI systems that can, analyze your preferences and create custom perfumes or even, food flavors that are tailored to your specific taste.
So wait, instead of choosing from a bunch of pre-made scents or flavors, I could have something made just for me.
Exactly. It shows how AI is moving beyond just optimizing things we already do and is actually creating entirely new experiences. And it's not just for fun either.
Oh, what else is it being used for?
Well, think about healthcare, right? AI could be used to create personalized scents that might help people relax, like if they have anxiety or insomnia, or even to develop flavors that make healthy foods more appealing.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's
Ah.
like AI is helping us experience our senses in a whole new way.
Right. And it's just one example of how AI is kind of blurring the lines between the physical world and the digital world.
Yeah, that's interesting.
We're seeing that trend in other areas too. Have you heard about those AI-powered prosthetics?
Oh, yeah, those are incredible.
They're designed to actually learn and adapt to the user's movements.
It's like something out of science fiction.
It really is. And it's not even just about, replicating what humans can do. AI can also be used to enhance our abilities to do things we never thought possible.
Oh, wow. Like what?
Well, there are some companies that are developing exoskeletons that use AI to, increase human strength and endurance.
Whoa, that's straight out of a superhero movie. What could you even use something like that for?
Well, for now, you could imagine them being used in industries like construction or manufacturing, where people need that extra strength or support.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But down the line, who knows? Maybe we'll see AI-powered exoskeletons that help people with disabilities regain their mobility or even enhance the performance of athletes.
The possibilities are mind-blowing.
Okay.
So we've talked a lot about the positive potential of AI, but I think it's important to talk about the concerns as well, right? As AI becomes a bigger part of our lives, are there any risks we need to be thinking about?
For sure. AI is a powerful tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for, not so good. We have to be thoughtful about how we develop and use these technologies. Make sure they're used ethically and responsibly.
So what are some of the ethical things we should be considering?
Well, one of the biggest concerns is bias. The potential for AI to kind of perpetuate or even amplify societal biases that already exist.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
AI systems are trained on data. And if that data reflects biases that are present in our society, the AI will probably exhibit those same biases.
So if an AI is trained on data that, like, reflects gender or racial biases, it could end up making decisions that are discriminatory.
That's right. We have to be super careful about the data that's used to train AI systems and make sure they're designed to be fair.
That makes sense. What about jobs? I know a lot of people are worried that AI will automate their jobs away.
Yeah, it's a valid concern. And it's likely that some jobs will be lost to AI, but it's also important to remember that AI is going to create new jobs, too.
So it's not just about job losses. It's about how jobs are going to change and the need for people to adapt.
Right. We need to invest in education and training to help people develop the skills they'll need to succeed in this, AI-powered economy.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds crucial. Are there any other concerns that you think are really important?
Well, transparency and accountability are big ones. As these AI systems get more and more complex, it can be really hard to understand how they're making decisions.
I can see how that would be a problem.
Right. Especially when you're using AI in fields like healthcare or criminal justice, where the stakes are really high.
Exactly.
So we need to make sure AI is designed in a way that lets us understand how those decisions are being made.
Right.
And we also need to be clear about who's accountable when an AI system makes a mistake.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It sounds like there's a lot to consider. It's exciting, but also a little bit scary to think about.
It's both, for sure. But I am optimistic. I think we can find ways to harness the power of AI for good while still being aware of the risks. It's going to take a lot of collaboration, though. Researchers, policymakers, the public, we all need to be part of the conversation.
That's a great point. It really is a conversation we need to be having. We've been focusing on how AI impacts society, but I'm also curious about the philosophical implications. How is AI changing what it means to be human?
Ooh, that is a great question. It's really making us rethink some pretty basic assumptions about ourselves and our place in the universe. Like, if machines can do things we thought were unique to humans, what does that say about us?
Like AI is challenging our definition of what it means to be human.
Yeah, it's making us think more about, what is consciousness? Could machines ever be sentient? These are big questions that philosophers have been debating for centuries, and AI is bringing them to the forefront.
It's a lot to wrap your head around. Do you think ultimately that AI will help us understand ourselves better?
I think it has that potential, yeah. By studying how machines learn, we might learn new things about how our own brains work. And by interacting with these AI systems that are becoming more and more human-like, maybe we'll come to appreciate what makes us unique.
That's a hopeful way to look at it. I'm curious to see how these conversations evolve as AI keeps advancing. Speaking of advancements, I keep hearing about artificial general intelligence, or AGI. What exactly is that? Is it different from the kind of AI we've been talking about so far?
So AGI is basically a hypothetical type of AI. It would be able to understand, learn, and do any intellectual task that a human can.
So it's like an AI that's as intelligent as a human.
Yeah, exactly. And unlike the AI systems we have now, which are usually built to do very specific things, AGI would have a much wider range of abilities. It could potentially be even smarter than humans in a lot of ways.
Okay, that sounds both super fascinating and maybe a little bit terrifying.
I know, right? And we're still a long way from developing true AGI, but it's definitely generating a lot of discussion and debate in the AI community.
What are some of the biggest challenges in trying to develop AGI?
Well, one of the biggest is common sense. It's really hard to replicate that kind of common sense reasoning and problem solving that humans do without even thinking about it.
So it's not just about processing information quickly. It's about understanding how the real world works, being able to adapt to new situations.
Exactly. And then there's the challenge of creating AI that can learn and evolve on its own without us having to constantly step in.
So AI that can think for itself.
That's the ultimate goal, but it's incredibly complex.
Yeah, it sounds like developing AGI is pushing the limits of what we thought was possible with technology. But even if we do create AGI, what would that mean? How would it change the world?
That's the big question, right? Some experts think AGI could lead to a, golden age of progress and prosperity. Others worry it could be a huge threat to humanity.
It's a bit like we're at a crossroads, with the potential for incredible things and also huge risks.
It really is. And we're going to have to be very careful about how we navigate this. The choices we make now about how we develop and govern AI will have a massive impact on the future.
That's a pretty sobering thought. But it's also a reminder that we have a responsibility to make sure AI is used to create a better world.
I agree. The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's being shaped right now, and we all have a part to play in shaping it.
It's a powerful analogy for sure. And it just shows how important it is to be careful, to really think about the future as we develop AI. We need to talk about the ethics, the impact on society. I mean, what happens when we create machines that are as smart as humans, or even smarter?
Right. It's a lot to consider.
We've covered so much in this deep dive. We've talked about how AI is changing everything from, the ocean to agriculture, from mental health to creative stuff. And now we're talking about AGI and how it could completely reshape the world.
It is a lot to take in.
It is.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, AI is a tool, right?
Absolutely.
It can help us do amazing things, solve tough problems, and create all kinds of possibilities. But we have to use it wisely.
I agree.
So what can our listeners do? How can they stay informed about AI and all of this stuff that's happening?
Well, the most important thing is to be curious. Keep learning about the latest developments, the different ways AI is being used. Read about the ethical debates. There are tons of resources out there. Articles, books, podcasts, even documentaries.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
To challenge the assumptions you hear.
Exactly. Talk about AI with your friends, family, colleagues, anyone who's willing to listen and share their thoughts. The more we talk about these things, the better prepared we'll be for the future.
That's a great point. We need to move beyond the hype and the fear, Have real conversations about AI and the role we want it to play in our lives.
I agree. The future of AI isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we're actively creating.
That's a powerful thought. We all have a part to play in shaping how AI develops. It's not just up to the big tech companies or the government. It's up to all of us.
I think that's a perfect way to put it.
So to everyone listening, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI. It's been an amazing journey, and I hope you've learned a lot. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities.